Robert Roberson is due to be executed on October 17th. The 56-year-old has been on Texas death row for over 22 years after being convicted of the shaken baby syndrome death of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki. The problem is, shaken baby syndrome has been proven to be junk science. Texas plans to put Roberson to death on October 17th, unless he is granted clemency. Last week, a bipartisan majority of legislators from the Texas House asked the state Board of Pardons and Paroles to recommend clemency. The final decision will rest with Governor Greg Abbott. I sat down with Roberson this week at the Polunsky Prison Unit in Livingston, Texas. That's where death row is. Here's how Roberson describes what happened when Nikki died and he was arrested.
Like I said, I didn't know that she had been sick from 8 days old. And because her mom they said she was an ex-prostitute or something, and they took her from her. So, I didn't know she was sick from all that time,
Yeah.
Okay, right before this happened, we carried her to the doctor and stuff. We carried her to the hospital before and stuff, and the doctor subscribed codeine, Phenergan, and some other stuff with codeine and stuff in it. That's black label outlawed to giving kids that young, But if you check all the medical records, you can see that she's sick from that time, And when she turned blue and quit breathing, there's some kind of problems, Losing her, and then get falsely convicted of it, that messed my life up. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, If I had any, I'm not sure if I have any now. I try to be at peace with everybody, But she's a sick little girl,
The hospital staff immediately suspected Roberson of fatal child abuse, and one of the reasons that they were pointing their finger at Roberson was because of his behavior. He wasn't acting like a distraught father in the grip of grief. He didn't have a neurotypical response because he is not neurotypical. He is on the autism spectrum.
He has a developmental disability that's lifelong, but he also has this sort of childlike innocence and authenticity, and is very intuitive and kind about people. Just very sincere. As with, some people with autism, he takes what you tell him very literally and wants to follow the rules.
Roberson reacted by emotionally shutting down. So it didn't take long before he was arrested.
I didn't know nothing about autism before I got diagnosed, because I couldn't explain how did she get in that position. I told him I found out at the end of the bed, and that's the God's truth, When I first came there, because they called in the police department and stuff, and they suspected me, and just because I was they thought I was acting strange or unusual, That night, I think it was that night, later on, they flew her to Children's Hospital in Dallas up there. I forgot the name of it right now. But then the detective said, you can't go there, you're not allowed to go. So they barred me from going to be up there with my little girl. And I tell you what happened was, sometime during the process, they carried me to court, and then they took my parental rights and stuff. So they took my parental rights, said I didn't have no rights to go to the funeral. Before that, I didn't have no rights to go to the hospital to be with my little girl in Dallas. I felt it was overly harsh. It was like numbing, because I couldn't even do that, can't even be my little girl the time that I needed to be around for sure,
So they put you in handcuffs, took you down?
Carried me to jail, to the county jail.
To the county jail.
Yes, sir.
Did you know what was going on? Did you think that this was some sort of mistake, that they would figure it out?
I thought they was going to figure it out and do what's right, and I thought we had a fair and just criminal justice system. But I learned a lot different now since what happened, all these years. And I thought everything. My mom kept telling me, if you didn't do nothing, it'd get worked out. And they tried to get me plead for life sentence 3 times. I'm not going to take no life sentence, and I'm not going to plead out to nothing I didn't do.
One of the police officers who arrested Roberson was Brian Wharton. He was the lead detective for the Palestine Police Department. He is now retired and traded his badge in for a Bible. Now, the Reverend Wharton, he admits they got it wrong that night, and Roberson is innocent. The Reverend has recently met with him on death row. How was that experience for you?
To meet someone that you're partially responsible for his incarceration, which very clearly now is a very wrong thing. It was difficult, but Robert made it easy. Robert was very gracious. He was very kind. He was very forgiving, and we had a nice conversation. I'm stunned that we are at this point. I really am. That we are now dependent upon a clemency hearing to get justice for Robert. There is such clarity in the evidence that his attorney has tried to present to the court. It truly is stunning to me that we have come this far with Robert. And so here's another moment in Texas, another moment for the death penalty, where we need to be taking long, hard looks at what we think is justice.
Roberson knows that he is just days away from being killed. He is very aware that his end could be near.
I'm thinking now, I still got hope, still hanging on to hope, And if something don't work out, I'm at peace whenever I do. Whether it's in here, out in the world, population, we all gonna die one day, in life. But the thing is, as long as I'm breathing, I'm gonna keep fighting, keep trying to make this right, but also trying to make it right for other people too, because my case could help other people,
Robert Roberson is scheduled to die on October 17th. He is innocent. There was no crime. And if he is executed, then the Texas courts and the leadership in the state have failed, and they have blood on their hands. And it will be clear, without a doubt, that the Texas death penalty is broken and it is beyond repair.